Hare Krishna. So the internet is not very strong here. It's okay. As we were discussing, in the introduction before the kirtan, we were asked to speak upon how to get rid of lethargic condition, which means lethargy means it's a kind of condition whereby you are not able to do things the way you should be doing due to many reasons. It's like in Krishna consciousness, where we're supposed to be fully engaged. In Krishna consciousness, we should be in such a way that our mind will not be distracted. Mind and the body also. When we talk about body, body means mind. Because the mind is the center of all the senses. And we should be inspired. We should be so much engaged in such a way that we have full of energy. Full of energy. It's like you can tell a devotee who is very inspired, is full of energy all day long. He can do many, many things in different ways, and as if the 24 hours is not enough for that devotee. And he will keep on asking, Prabhuji, is there any more service for me? So there is a verse, and Prabhupada gave a very, very nice purport. This is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 4, text 11 and chapter 26. That due to our, what you may say again, being fatigued, then the endeavor to improve our life is not being completed. It's full of restlessness. So that's again, being fatigued means you cannot do what you're supposed to do. And therefore you become inactive, or say lethargic, or you become lazy. So this is the verse. Tatakshutrit parishranto niprito griham eivan kritas nanochitahara samvivesha gata klama. Already got one. Thank you. This verse is being spoken in the Bhagavatam. Let's see the translation. After this, the king, very much fatigued, hungry, and thirsty, returned to his royal palace. After returning, he took a bath and had an appropriate dinner. Then he took rest and thus became freed from all restlessness. Prabhupada's purport. So this is King Puranjana. King Puranjana. This is an allegory. King Puranjana actually is us. Not just me, you also. That means all of us. And this is true. This happens to everyone in this material world. Let's see what Prabhupada says. A materialistic person works throughout the whole week very, very hard. He's always asking, where is money? Where is money? Then, of the week, he wants to retire from these activities and go to some secluded place to rest. King Puranjana returned to his home because he was very much fatigued from hunting animals in the forest. This is the day-to-day activities of the materialist. They will live early in the morning, very austere. They go to job, and Prabhupada gave an example. It's like in Mumbai, they have to travel for an hour and a half by train to reach their destination where they work. And they will work not just 8 hours. They will work so hard, sometimes 10, sometimes 12-hour shift. And then again in the evening, they will take the train back to their place of residence. And he'll be just like so tired. And as Prabhupada would say also. And then he would eat a little bit. How much chapatis he can eat. The rich person and the poor person, how much size of the stomach they have, same. So they will eat the same chapatis, number of chapatis, some sabji. And then, of course, there is the sex life also. If one is a grihastha, a little bit of relief of this whole day affair of being so tired, and then sleep, and then the next day do the same thing again and again and again. When a person comes to his senses and understands how he is engaging in sinful activities, he returns to his conscience, which is herein figuratively described as the palace. Generally, a materialistic person is infected by the material modes of passion and ignorance. The results of passion and ignorance are lust and greed. In the life of a materialist, activity means working in lust and greed. However, when he comes to his senses, he wants to retire. But sometimes that is too late for others to understand that. They're already old. All of their energy is already used up. All of their time is already wasted. And they don't have any more energy. They're very tired, and all of their senses are not working properly. So what to do? King Puranjana's coming home, taking bath, and having an appropriate dinner indicate that a materialist person must retire from sinful activities and become purified by accepting a spiritual master and hearing from him about the values of life. If one would do this, he would feel completely refreshed, just as one feels after taking a bath. After receiving initiation from a bona fide spiritual master, one must abandon all kinds of sinful activities, namely illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating. So, now that you are in this stage, pre-Bhakta training program, we call it what? PBT. You must have decided in your life that you want to become a devotee. Yes or no? You decided somehow because you are here, you wanted to follow a certain training to equip you so that you'll become strong in spiritual life, in Krishna consciousness, and so that you'll have a very strong foundation so that as you go along with your spiritual life, you'll become stronger and stronger. And maybe some of you have some spiritual background from before, but many of you may not have. So the whole purpose of becoming a devotee is to be engaged 24 hours in the service of the Supreme Lord. That's what I mean by bhakta, or a devotee. And a devotee is very, very rare in this world. Yes, you make the plan to devote your time, your energy, your very self into the pursuit of knowing the absolute truth, the supreme absolute truth. This is the main reason. That's why you are here. So being engaged or devoting one's time, energy, and the very self in Krishna consciousness, you may find that you will have the reaction is that in the beginning you become fatigued or tired. Especially we're very rigid in our schedule, right? Like getting up by 4 a.m., which is, according to the Bhagavad Gita, yes, time for sleeping, for the introspective sage is a time for others to be awake. It's the opposite, right? I'm sure most of you who are, or who were in college or university, some of you are what you call night owls. What do you mean by night owls? You know, the owls are awake, fully awake. It's like they don't sleep not until like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., right? And then they will get up, at 7 or 8 or 9 or even 10 o'clock in the morning, especially if they don't have any class the next day. But it's the opposite in spiritual life. We get up early in the morning. That means you need an ample number of hours of sleep to make you through the whole day. As Prabhupada says, 6 hours is good enough. Even there is a scientific research done that 6 hours of sleep is good. And then, as Prabhupada also would do in the daytime, he will have another 1 hour rest. Or he would take a little bit of nap also after prasad on the left-hand side, the body, left side. So, however, this is also relative. Some may need more than 6 hours. It depends on the composition of your body. But others, they may go with even less than 6 hours. Just like myself. At nighttime, my body clock makes me wake up by 2 a.m. Even I sleep by 10 o'clock, sometimes even 1 o'clock, 1:30 or something. Some devotees, they don't need the alarm clock. They have a natural alarm clock inside that will make them wake up real early. But I'm sure in the beginning, you may find yourself that you will need more rest. You will need more sleep for you to get by for the whole day. So we should not overuse our body in this way, that if you need some extra rest, then you must also inform your pre-bhakta training leader. Okay, but Prabhupada says also, if you eat like a horse, then you should work like a horse also. There are two things that we have to be extra careful in our execution of devotional service, the day-to-day activities, is that our diet and our sleep, or we call our sleep as taking rest. You will never hear this phrase in anywhere else. When you want to sleep, you say, "Hey, Prabhu, wake me up, okay? Right time. I just want to take a little rest." We call it, "I'm gonna take rest." We don't call it, "I'm just gonna go sleep." No, rest. Because why? Of course, I mentioned too, rest, diet, and also exercise should be included in there. So exercise. So we will discuss this one by one. So yes, the sleep or taking rest, it depends on each and every individual, but the more you become fully Krishna conscious, then the more taking rest is become less and less. Like Srila Prabhupada, the time that we sleep, the time that he actually wakes up, even Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how many hours he would sleep. There is a schedule in his biography, how many hours he sleep and how many chapatis he will eat. Only fruits, chapatis, and some milk. Practically no eating also. So we have to regulate our sleeping habit, because if our sleep is distracted or disturbed, then we become irritated. We become like easily disturbed. It's we cannot concentrate. Our memory also becomes affected. You want to attend the morning program, then most of the times you will be sleeping because you want to catch up the sleep where you should have been having the night before. So one must be very, very conscious of this. If you need more sleep, then you have to sleep more, 6 hours, but no more than 6 hours or 7 or something like that. Otherwise, it becomes in a mode of tamagun. mode of ignorance. But the more you advance in Krishna consciousness, it's like the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. They eat very less also. They're, just even a cup full of buttermilk, 1 donut of buttermilk, they will subside with that. They'll be able to fully satisfied with that alone. So yes, sleep is very important. Your morning program actually begins the night before. When you're fully rested, then the next day you're very fully awake, you're fully conscious. You don't sleep during japa time. You don't sleep during Bhagavatam class. And definitely you're fully awake during Prasadam time. I have not seen a devotee sleeping during the Prasadam time, especially when they start chanting the Maha Prasadi Govinde. That is the mantra for being awake. But then the mantra for sleeping is like Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it should be like Krishna consciousness means like you're awake. You're in the wakeful state, not in the dreaming state. Dreaming state means Maya, Tamagun. So yes, sleep. You should not be deprived of sleep. That's one thing. There's one thing is like you should also not be sleeping too much. Because sleeping too much makes you also sleepy. Less sleep makes you sleepy, but sleeping too much makes you more asleep. You're like in a dreaming, always like in a dreaming state. You had this experience when you sleep too much, then you get headache, and you want to like lie down more. So yes, this is very, very important. Diet also, diet is very special. Of course, our diet is prasadam, but we should not be overeating. It says in the Bhagavad Gita, like Arjuna asked, how does he walk? How does he work? How does he sleep? And what Krishna says, Lord Krishna says, oh, you should not be eating too much or eating too less, or sleep too much or sleep too little, or work too much or work too little. It's like equipoise, balance. This is the dhira, equipoise. A sober person is like this. So when a devotee actually, of course, each and every one of us has a different composition, the body. What do you call that? Tridosha? Tridosha. In Ayurveda, you have, Kapha, Pitta, and Vata, or Vayu. Yes, Vata, Vayu. So yes, it has to be balanced. When it is balanced, then your body will also become active. If it's imbalanced, then you'll have a disease, and when you have the disease, then you'll not be able to concentrate in your service. You'll not be able to concentrate during reading. You may be reading, and then most of the time you'll be nodding off. Again, you become lethargic in that way. So, especially in our diet, we should not be eating too much starchy, carbohydrates. Starch. It's like what? Potatoes, aloo, or chawal. It's like last night, I saw a devotee. Boy, this is like about almost 9 o'clock, 8:30, 8:45. And he's eating like a Govardhan hill of chawal. Yes, Prabhuji, how are you going to eat this? And he says, Maharaj, this is Mahaprasad. I says, I know it's Mahaprasad, but you don't have to eat this much. Oh, Maharaj, I can eat this. I'm young, I can eat even 4 gulab jamuns at the same time. These are detrimental to our health. You may be still young right now, but once you reach a certain age, it will affect you. And the effect will be devastating, that you may not be able to do your service properly. Because here, yes, there is ample of prasadam, and especially for brahmacharis. There's always someone who will give a donation for a brahmachari feast. So you will have cakes, cookies, many sweets. We have to be careful, and if you want less sweets, you should eat like Prabhupada says. We should eat in such a way to keep the body and soul together, right? It'll be very difficult to move around if you increase your weight. And I've noticed many of the brahmacharis, they're increasing their weight more and more and more. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he doesn't like his disciples to be like this. He wants his disciple fit, F-I-T, not F-A-T, fat. So you know how much to eat. You should know how much to eat, because this will be one of the causes also of your being lazy, or not be able to move, or not be able to concentrate what you put inside, right? Of course, there's a saying, you are what you eat, but we only eat Krishna Prasad. But still, we need to know the right amount so that we don't get lethargic. So diet is very important. Diet, we have to choose, and as we mentioned, less starch, less carbohydrates. It should be balanced. No processed food. Of course, we don't have them in India. Practically everything is fresh. But in America, sometimes it's very difficult to get fresh vegetables. So they will buy already processed or frozen. So there's no more nutrition there. No more vitamins or no more important elements that the body needs. So, but still here in India, we have to be extra careful. I know when I was in North America just recently, it's difficult for me to eat. But when I came back here, my appetite returned. But still, I have to choose what I have to eat. So if you don't know what is your bodily, composition, I'm sure we have an Ayurvedic doctor where you can diagnose which one is good for you. Actually, when it comes to food, the things that we want the most is the food that we should avoid. And the food that we don't want is the food that actually we should be eating. It is like that. It is like that. So, you know, try to remember this. Huh? So yes, diet must be certain foods that, they do the opposite and fight fatigue by supplying long-term clean energy with no crash. Because most of the times, if you eat not properly by 12 noon, that's it. Your energy now is already like, you think you're eating a lot, but then I'll get more energy. But it's the opposite. You're eating a lot, but it takes more of your energy that by mid-noon, or by afternoon, or 12 noon, you just want to lie down for a long time. You don't have any more energy. So this is one of the causes why devotees are lethargic or becoming a little inactive. They're not able to perform their service up to the mark. So yes, we should also, as much as possible, do exercise. I know in some temples, the brahmacharis will do yoga. But don't do yoga that will take up so much of your time also. When I was in Russia, in Moscow, they would do yoga, the brahmacharis, for a few minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes before Guru Puja. You do it also here? Yeah, some of you, yes. I know some devotees, they will do, weightlifting before. We have them in Vrindavan. We have a small gym there up in the. But don't spend too much time also. This is like just to keep the blood circulation, going. This is very important. You can do yoga, asanas, or pranayam. Spend some time with that. Of course, it's not good air in Delhi. So if you're gonna do pranayam, do it inside, less pollution. Outside, people are thinking, oh, they're jogging, they're walking. They spend so much time for their body, but actually the body gets more deteriorated because of the high index of pollution here. In Delhi is like 5 times. Supposed to be 50 is the index of AIQ. I don't know what's that mean, AIQ. I check in my air. Oh, yeah. Good scientist. Air index quality is supposed to be 50 is the normal, but here it goes up to 300, 400 sometimes. But now it's quiet, so I checked, it was like 125. So there is a positive in this lockdown. So you have to be careful also. Don't expose too much of yourself in the sun as well. There's ultraviolet there, so it's up. Prabhupada says early morning sunshine gives you energy, but then in the evening, or when it goes past the meridian, instead of giving you energy, it saps your energy, the sun. So we have to be careful of that as well. So exercise is a must. Of course, during japa time, if you feel a little bit sleepy, don't try to fight it, because the more you fight it, the more you will sleep. You stand up and walk, like Prabhupada says. he goes for his walk. Even in his room in Los Angeles, he was doing that. Have you seen that video? Prabhupada chanting back and forth, right? But don't walk during japa in such a way that you disturb others as well while they're doing their japa. You can do a japa walk. It says here, lack of exercise can cause the body to feel tired and fatigued because the metabolism slows down and the body starts storing excess fat. Yeah, we have to burn our calories. People think that when you're fat, you're healthy, but it's the opposite. When you're fat, that means you have excess fat that has to be burned. And burning that can be done through some exercise, some yoga, some asanas. Being overweight alone can cause chronic fatigue. Yeah, they cannot move. They want to move, but because the body will prohibit them from moving. Even mild daily exercise is extremely effective in reversing this. Going for a walk, as we mentioned, increase your blood circulation. And there's also scientific proof that when you go for a walk, then also your brain also function much better. And when you walk, the nature is that you also become jolly. You started to feel good than if you don't walk. So I made it a habit also to go walking, especially in Vrindavan. After the morning program, we'll go up to Yamuna and then come back, go to Goshala. The air in Goshala is the prana, the life air there is so special. And we will pass by, go drink some fresh cow's milk, just, it's still garam dood. You can see the froth or the cream. We will take that, and then on the way back, we will take some gomutra again. And then when you're there, the air that you breathe gives you like, it bursts. Your energy is like bursting. So I don't know. You cannot do it here also because you don't have cows. Well, you have mother dairy cow, of course, but that is not good enough. That is buffalo. So be careful also of the milk that you drink, because buffalo milk will make you like a buffalo. Buffalo brain. Have a buffalo brain, Prabhupada says. But if you drink cow's milk, because cows, they are in sattva gun, so it puts you in the mode of goodness, sattva gun also. So try to eat. Of course, you don't have so much choice because whatever is being brought here, and I've tasted, I had many times the prasadam is very, very good also. The what? Milk comes from Goshala. But in between, you don't know what's going on. Right? The producer is producing cow's milk, but there is a middleman. So before reaching here, we don't know what took place. If you're the one who's milking the cows, it's like what I did, I can see that this really cow's milk. You cannot really trust. We've seen in video how they put some chemicals or paint, whatever. So it looks like white. Ghee also, they always say, yeah, they can make anything in India. Because of the situation, the people are desperate. It's like the fruits, they will inject, like watermelon, they will inject the red color and put chini there, or whatever, it becomes like sweet. That's why Prabhupada says we have to develop this Varnashram program where we can grow our own food and be having vegetables, fruits. It's like in the market, they will say organic this, organic that, but you don't really know what's organic there. It's not possible. So the best is make the best of what we have, but be regulated. Eat which is only what is necessary. Do exercise. Your diet should be perfect in such a way that diet means whatever is being offered to Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, but don't eat too much. Don't eat too little. If you eat too little also, you'll not be able to function properly, right? So these are the main things that we want to, actually what we should only be increasing as much as possible is the association of the devotees and chanting the holy name. We should increase our kirtan, chanting the holy name, the discussion, reading Srila Prabhupada's books. We should increase this as much as possible. And a few things also that we have to decrease and practically get rid of is our false ego. Don't be puffed up, as Prabhupada says. It's like a chapati, chapati becomes puff. Don't be like that. You can get rid of false ego by humbly serving the Vaishnavas and the Supreme Lord and not expecting anything in return or not wanting to enjoy, as we discussed this morning, coming into at least to the Sattva-gun. Don't be judgmental with other devotees because you don't know their condition. Just try to be more introspective. Look towards yourself. Try to figure out how you can improve. How can you decrease things which are unnecessary? Try to improve which is needed to be improved. And if you need some help, you can always go to approach other senior devotees. Confidentially, you may ask them how you can make progress, how can you improve. These are some of the techniques how you'll be able to maintain your self in Krishna consciousness, how you'll be able to make progress in Krishna consciousness. It's like an open secret. There is no secret in Krishna consciousness. So reveal your mind, what you feel, but don't judge others because you don't know their condition. Only Krishna and Guru can judge us. And be always ready to be corrected. We should be happy if someone is correcting us, even your fellow devotee, bhaktas. If they find someone who something from you that needs to be improved, you should be thankful. You should say, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for your care. And you should also do the same thing, but do it without any false ego. Because one may correct another devotee, but his ego is like, hey, I know more than you. You're not supposed to know it. You listen to me. No. Of course, corrections can be only also applied if you have a relationship with that devotee. So try to improve your loving relationship with each other. And in this way, you'll be able to maintain yourself to be in the association of devotees and go on, make progress in Krishna consciousness. I will stop here. Anyone has any comments or question?
My question regarding
Diet, yes.
So, we heard many times that we should take prasadam in a balanced way. Prasadam is nothing but the mercy of the Lord.
Yes, prasad means mercy.
Sometimes it becomes difficult, especially as soon as fish prasadam comes, they become slowly different.
Feast, yes.
Especially fish prasadam, there are so many varieties.
Yeah. And every day is a feast here, practically.
So my question is that what should be the consciousness at that time? Knowing already prasadam.
Yeah. As we mentioned earlier, we have to be careful not to overeat. It's fine. You honor the prasad. Usually we don't say eat prasad. We say honor prasad, because this is mercy of the Lord. But then when you start to enjoy and eat and eat and eat and eat, what's going to happen? You're going to sleep and sleep and sleep. So the best thing is this: just get the small amount to honor. It's like when we go preaching, the preacher will have like small box tiffin, right? And then say, Prabhuji, lo prasad, lo. But his spoon is smaller than the baby's spoon. It's like, it's like you cannot even see the spoon. But they're happy to accept that prasad. This is prasad. So just be careful not to become overwhelmed. The cakes and the sweets and the samosas and the jalebis and rasgullas and you have to be careful, right? For sannyasis, we always have Mahaprasad, but I don't take all of them. I just choose whatever is suitable for myself. If I eat all of them, I'll be sick. You will not be able to hear what I'm saying right now. I will not be here. Of course, my age right now is, you're probably not born yet when I joined. I joined in 1984. So you must have been in a womb of a different mother, of a different species. The whole thing is you want to remain in Krishna consciousness for a long time so that you'll be able to serve Srila Prabhupada in his mission. The longer you can do it, then the more you become purified. And the more you become purified, the more you get closer to Krishna. That is the whole program that we're trying to do here. Okay, if you die prematurely because of, all of this, not eating properly, no exercise, and all such things, your sleeping is less, or you're supposed to sleep, the right amount, then it'll be difficult for you to execute bhakti, right? Anything else? Where is the bhakta mic? Yes, you have the mic. You can speak. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I have read somewhere in second canto that the material overeating is increased of material desire.
Was that again?
Overeating increases the material desire.
Yes.
So how can I understand this?
Well, because especially sweets, try to avoid sweets. Because the enjoying propensity is there. You want to enjoy more, and actually our enjoyment is only through kirtan, and kirtan means hearing the name, fame, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And what else is our enjoyment? Prasadam! Prabhupada says, our movement is only enjoying. You have heard this thing? Our movement is only enjoying. You hear the philosophy, you do kirtan, and when you become tired, you take prasad. And then after taking prasad, you hear more kirtan, hear the topics about the Lord Hari, do kirtan, chant the holy name, and what after that? You take prasadam again. So you have to be careful what you eat, how much you eat, because the propensity to enjoy is always there. As we mentioned this in the Bhagavatam class this morning, isn't it? Be in the sattva gun. As soon as you want to enjoy, that is not sattva gun. Of course, we enjoy, but the enjoyment that we have is not the same as the materialistic kind of enjoyment that they eat and they become gluttonous. Gluttonous, it's sad. If you become like 300 pounds, if you become 150 kilos in your weight, that's it. You'll not be able to move. Even 100 kilos is a lot. So there is what you call BMI. Our scientists, what's BMI says? Okay, body mass index. So according to your height, you must know what is your weight. Should be appropriate. Should be not too less, not too high. It should be there is a certain boundary. Right? Okay? Because eating too much will also increase your material desires. And that is our enemy. The enemy in spiritual life is material desires. And it culminates with lusty desire. The attraction towards the opposite sex. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yes, sir.
My question is not exactly for the body, for as a topic as a basic. My question is, Maharaj, we are educating our life and expecting to be with the law.
There is an echo and there is a sound over there. I cannot hear. You can close the door. Close that door. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. We are entering into the brahmachari life and expecting to be in the lifelong commitment for this brahmachari life. And Maharaj,
inspires me?
But it's like how you have continued with Vinod Sadhak for a long time, and
one more question, Maharaj. Daily we are doing the same activity.
What?
Same Mangalarti.
same activity, everything is same. So
So
people get
how do we cannot be lazy in there? Not maybe coordinate there, but how?
like how we are not to get familiar with that, because daily the same thing. There is no
Daily is not the same thing. It looks the same, but it is not the same. It's not the same. The program is the same, but it is different also at the same time. So what inspires me is that when you study the life of Srila Prabhupada, you should read Prabhupada Lilamrita. This is my first book that I read cover to cover when I joined, besides Bhagavad Gita. You can see the life of Srila Prabhupada, how he prepared coming to America, all the austerities that he performed, all the sacrifices that he did for us. That will actually awaken your sleeping condition to be fully inspired. So that inspired me. And when I also met our Guru Maharaj, that inspired me also, and continuously inspiring me to continuously go on, follow in his footsteps. When you see other devotees who are senior devotees who are making progress, still continue on, that will make you also follow the same thing. So, yes, our daily activities seemingly is the same again and again and again, but actually it is ever fresh. You know, if you become used to the morning program, if you miss the Mangal Arti, you will feel bad inside. You will feel like, oh. And actually, if you miss the Mangal Arti, if you're coming every day, if you miss Mangal Arti, it's not just you who will feel bad. Krishna also. He will be looking, oh, where is my devotee? He's not here today. Something must be wrong. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, we read every day, but it's always fresh. Guru Puja, all the morning program, Prasadam, always nice. Association, always nice. Seemingly, we're repeating. For the materialists, they may say, oh, your life must be boring. But if it's boring, I'm sure most of you already have left by now. Correct or not? Our life is not boring. The life of the materialist is boring. Puna, charbananam. They're chewing the chewed, like chewing gum. You know, they keep chewing, no more taste, but you know. Or in the Bhagavatam says, like the camel, they will eat the thorns, and they're eating their own blood. What is good about that? Or that sugar cane also. You've seen when you go parikrama in Govardhan Hill, or here also sometimes they sell them here also, right? The same sugar cane, it goes like how many times? And no more juice, but still a little bit of drop of something, but there's no more sweet there. But here, every day is nectar. Every day is so sweet. Come on, when you see the deities, when you see the other devotees in the kirtan, when you read Prabhupada's books, that is life. That is real life. If it is not, then this temple will be empty. You understand? Yes, yes.
So my question is that we may control what we eat, but we see that devotees are more merciful than the Lord. So as such, they show more mercy sometimes.
Yes.
So you can take.
Right. Especially in India, right?
It's quite difficult to say no at that time.
You don't say no. You put your hands like this. If you just say no and your hand is not like that, then they still keep putting the prasad. But as soon as you said that, it means you have enough. That's enough. That means no. So saying by words doesn't control the devotee to give his mercy to you. You have to say, Prabhuji, I'm already up to here. Prabhupada says, you should eat prasadam. Prasadam is so good that even if you're full, you still want to continue eating. And you will walk like a duck. You know, after prasad, you know, some devotees, it's very difficult to get up. It will take them so long to get up. And then, you know, when they walk, it's like, they will complain, oh no, now I have a stomach ache because of prasad. No, it should not be like that. Yeah. You understand? Okay. And?
This is the stage to control the senses.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we hear and many times we discuss on this subject.
Right.
Still, somewhere it's there, it's not that serious.
It's not?
Over here, the principle is more serious. But eating reducing the sweet.
Yeah.
So such is there in the mind. And slowly it's like the poison, it is hurting. Now I see that after a few years, the eating becomes a main business. Addicted to eating. And then they give the, this is the only sense gratification commentary has, and why we should not eat more.
See, the whole purpose of Bhakti Yoga is to control our senses, focus our mind, to think of Krishna the whole time, 24 hours, to always remember Krishna and never forget Him. So, but if we become absorbed in the bodily demands, we have to make it less and less the bodily demands. We cannot artificially become renounced. Says Maharaj says, I should not eat too much, or it's like don't sleep too much. No. It is gradual. Renunciation is gradual. Attachment should be cut gradually until one day you'll be in Vishuddha Sattva. So somebody, if you see someone you really want to help that devotee, then you should give him an advice. Because usually we don't see ourselves, but others see more ourselves than ourselves. That's why in Krishna consciousness, sadhu sangha is very, very important. Sadhu sangha doesn't mean, Hare Krishna Prabhu, how are you? Oh, I'm fine, thank you, Hare Krishna. That is not sadhu sangha. What is sadhu sangha? Revealing one's mind, taking guidance, accepting gift, giving gifts, and what? Giving prasad. Taking prasad. That is the best part, right? So we have to, it'll come through maturity also. The more you read Prabhupada's books, and the more you apply Prabhupada's teachings to yourself and to help others, the more you become mature. It takes time. It takes time. We cannot be artificially become like a pure devotee the next day. No, it takes time. Some, they learn the hard way, but the best is to learn from the right source. Because we don't have to invent anything here. Everything is already chalked out by the previous acharyas and Srila Prabhupada. So we just have to follow the way we are taught. And it comes in due course of time. It comes. Krishna is the supreme controller. But then we cannot say, oh, when Krishna tells me, yes, I will do it. No, he's telling us right now. Right? He's telling us what to do right now. So we just have to find ways how we can apply it as soon as possible in our everyday activities. Then you'll really enjoy Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not a struggle. In the beginning, it's a struggle, but ultimately, it goes very smooth. In the beginning, it's like, oh, it's like climbing up a mountain. Because we have so many do's and don'ts that we have to follow. But one day will come, automatically you're following them without any endeavor. Krishna consciousness is like that. It becomes like part of your life. And then you'll enjoy Sukham Kartaham Abhyayam. This process is joyfully performed. If you want to do that as quick as possible, then you follow the do's and don'ts, what the sastras, nectar of devotion especially. As Prabhupada says, this is the law book of our society. So if you follow that, very easily you'll be able to see yourself enjoying Krishna consciousness. Is that okay? Okay, one last question. Huh?
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for a wonderful lecture. Maharaj, I understand that about lethargy mind. Lethargy mind.
Lethargic mind.
How to deal with the lethargy mind? Because the meaning of lethargy mind is what I want to do, I want mind allowed to do.
What?
The meaning of which I understood.
Okay.
The meaning of lethargy mind. What I want to do, mind won't allow to do.
Yeah. It doesn't allow you to do because of many things we discussed. The whole class is about that. You have to control your senses, control your eating habits, your lifestyle. You do some exercise, because the mind is the center of the senses. If the senses say, I want this, I want that, no, control it. And be focused, because the whole process of what we're doing is in the spiritual path, in the initial, the very first thing that one must do is control the mind. And Prabhupada says, how do you control the mind? By being Krishna conscious. And how you become Krishna conscious? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told us how to do it. Chant Hare Krishna. Always absorb yourself in Krishna consciousness. That is how you control the mind. The mind is so demanding. The mind is always making plans how we can be comfortable. No, you cannot be. You have to perform austerities. Morning program means austerity. How you can control the mind if you're sleeping during japa time? How you can control your mind if you're not fully hearing the Bhagavatam class? Whoever is giving the Bhagavatam class. The heart of the morning program is not the Prasadam time. The heart of the Bhagavatam class, the heart of the morning program is the Bhagavatam class. You should be fully, your mind should ready to accept and receive all those messages. And you can only do that if it starts the night before, as I mentioned. So the whole process of spiritual life starts with how to control the mind. So we have all of this. Prabhupada gave us all of these facilities. You have to chant Hare Krishna. There's no solution. I already told you the solution. You want something else? Huh? There's no something else. This is how you can control your mind. The mind is always demanding many things. The mind says, I want a better place. I want a better situation, but you cannot. The best place where you are is right here, right now. Do you ever find a better place than this right now? So, but the mind says, there must be somewhere else. There must be another place than Sisirada Parthasarthi. Krishna put you here because you have a desire to be Krishna conscious. So accept and chant whenever Prabhupada says, whenever you have time, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is the most easiest, most practical way to control the mind. Nothing else. If you have a different solution, please let me know. Please let me know. But there's nowhere else. We should be actually always eager to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We should be always eager to hear the glories of Lord Hari. If you have that eagerness, that means you are making advancement. And that is the way how the mind can be curtailed. Chanchala, Mana Krishna. Mind is like Lakshmi, never stays in one place. But Lakshmi is focused in one place only, also. Massaging the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. So if you focus your mind in the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, that is the only way how your mind can be controlled. Even if your mind says something else, it will not say. The mind will be satisfied. That's the only satisfaction that the mind will have. Taking shelter in the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And taking shelter in the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord means following His instructions. That answer your question? I don't find anything else in Prabhupada's books. I don't see anything else that Prabhupada will say beyond that. If we cannot accept that, I mean, what else can we accept? Nothing else. That is the main secret. I'm giving you the main secret. I'm giving you the conclusion of Prabhupada's books. As I said, it's an open secret. There's nothing. We don't have to hide anything here. All we have to do, though, is apply it. Now the process is the application. The application. We should be expert in this, the application of the teachings. We have the best teachings, but if you don't apply it, then you may say, oh, Maharaj, this doesn't work. But have you ever tried, oh yeah, I've been chanting for 1 week or 1 month. No, keep chanting till the rest of your life, till the end of your life. Okay? So thank you very much. Bahut bahut dhanyavad. Shukriya. Hare Krishna.